reaction to the increase in garbage and water fees. The Minister of Health refuting health concerns at the Grand Bahamas shipyard. And tonight we launch our exclusive 5-part series on sexual abuse.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shishina Roll-Farkas, and as always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, an additional financial burden. That's what the Coalition of Concerned Citizens had to say while raising the alarm about the recent increase in water and garbage rates in Freeport. Since then, they have called on the Grand Bahama Port Authority to hold back on the hike in fees, saying residents cannot afford it because of the state of the economy. In this report, Talia Hall gets the views of two government ministers on this issue. Minister of State for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Kwesi Thompson, says he only heard about the water and garbage rate increases on ZNS News last week. The minister is commending residents for being proactive and raising the concern, and he says while his initial thought is now is not the time for any increases for Grand Bahamians, the government does not have all of the facts as yet.
We are extremely concerned, I think, as a government that any increase really would be difficult, challenging for people in Grand Bahama. We were not given any advance notification by the Grand Bahama Port Authority, which was obviously concerning to us. We've since spoken to them. We've indicated to them that at this time we don't believe that an increase is warranted or an increase should happen at this time.
Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable Peter Turnquas, is also weighing in on the issue.
This raises the whole issue again as to whether the utility companies in Freeport ought to be regulated by the Utilities Regulations Commission, because it is unacceptable, certainly from speaking for myself as a representative for East Grand Bahama, it is unacceptable that the utility companies can unilaterally decide that they're going to raise the rates. As I recall, the garbage rates were just recently raised, and so if we're talking about another increase, whether in the water or in the garbage rates, certainly we have some challenges with that. This is not the time. The government is working very hard to get Grand Bahama back up on its feet, so that we can all live a better standard of living.
He calls it a premature decision.
We will certainly advocate with respect to the powers, and we will see what happens. But in my mind, they're going to have to put a very, very strong and compelling case for the government to accept, or at least to speak for myself, as the representative for East Grand Bahama, for me to accept any increase at this time. Again, I don't believe that the case can be put, that it's warranted. I know that there's some upgrades that they want to do, but again, we are all trying to work our way through this very difficult economic times.
He says what is also disappointing is the fact that there was no consultation with the government or residents on the increases.
This is a partnership. We all are licensees, or we are residents of Grand Bahama, of Freeport, and we're paying our service charges and we're paying our fees. The least we can get is that kind of consultation. This is a very close community. As I said, we had challenges, and so we ought to be able to talk through the issues, make sure that we all understand what the challenges may be, so that at the very least we get an opportunity to put our voices in and to suggest how we see this may go forward.
The garbage rates increased by some 5% on January 1st, 2019, and the water rates are expected to increase by 5% as well on February 1st. Talia Hall, ZNS Network News. Now, the Grand Bahama Port Authority has issued a statement explaining the reason for the hike in fees, noting that these fees were long overdue. Megan Shepard reports.
The statement reads that the Grand Bahama Port Authority wishes to confirm that an increase in garbage collection and water consumption rates are now in effect as of January 1st, 2019. The GBPA recognizes that these are challenging times for most and indeed notes the concerns voiced by Grand Bahama residents. Garbage collection rates and water consumption rates are reviewed every 3 years, and based on the cost of living, adjustments rates are modified accordingly. The last garbage collection rate increase of 5% was in December of 2014, while the water consumption rates remained consistent for a period of 7 years before its recent change by 5%. 86% of water customers consume less than 5,000 gallons on a monthly basis, with an average bill of around $20. Therefore, a 5% increase translates to $1. Likewise, residential garbage rates would see an increase by $1.38 monthly. Despite the historical 3-year review periods, both garbage collection and water consumption rate increases were delayed in recent years, recognizing the impact of Hurricane Matthew, resulting in deferment of a rate increase originally slated for January 2017. Acknowledging that rate increases are not always received in a positive light, it is important to point out that they aim to provide reliable and efficient utility services. The associated costs are inherent. Officials say the use of the long-standing practice to notify all customers through their billing statements. Effective December 1st, 2018, notices were placed on all bills to make customers aware of the new rates as of January 1st, 2019 for garbage collection and water consumption rates. The increase in water consumption rates will appear firstly on February 2019 billing statement. The statement adds that the GBPA sincerely hopes that this will not cause any undue hardship. To the contrary, the objective is to improve existing systems and infrastructure, and in the case of water, give customers the ability to monitor and reduce their water bill through new technology. Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Thank you, Megan. Well, tonight, the Minister of Health is refuting claims circulating on social media over the weekend regarding health concerns at the Grand Bahamas shipyard. The minister calling the reports misinformation.
People spread a rumor about a disease which tends to affect children, not adults, and which is very easily treatable. So, perhaps the person that wrote it or the persons that wrote it thought that scarlet fever was such a horrible illness that somehow people would be petrified to know that there was, quote unquote, an outbreak of scarlet fever, which wasn't.
In news from the crime beat, the Immigration Department taking 31 illegal migrants before the court today. The group was picked up 8 miles off Bimini this past Sunday by the United States Coast Guard. The group appearing before Magistrate Charlton Smith. The Haitian migrants were charged on illegal landing and illegal embarkation. They were all cautioned and discharged. Meanwhile, a Bahamian man, Andre Simonet, 45 of New Providence, was also arraigned with the group and pled guilty to illegal embarkation. He was cautioned and discharged. Shawayne Andrew Campbell, age 25 of Kingston, Jamaica, was also charged with overstaying and illegal embarkation. He pled guilty and was fined $500 or 2 months in prison on the charge of overstaying, and on the other charge, he was cautioned and discharged. Well, an argument between 2 men reportedly turning violent, and now both men are detained in hospital. Police tell us that the 2 males were at a residence on Adventurers Way Sunday afternoon when an altercation occurred. One of the males was stabbed in the head and the other sustained gunshot wounds about the body. Both were taken to hospital where they are listed in serious condition. Police are continuing their investigations. Police are reporting tonight that wanted suspect, 32-year-old Tony Jamal Smith, a.k.a. Jamal Penn, alias Fool, is now in custody. Police tell us that he turned himself into Central Police Station around 2:15 this afternoon. Smith was wanted by the Central Detective Unit for possession of an illegal firearm. Meantime, the search continues for 43-year-old Tavares DeMonte Beckford, a.k.a. Foe. He was wanted by the Central Detective Unit for attempted murder and is considered armed and extremely dangerous. He is 5 feet 7 inches tall, 134 pounds, with medium brown complexion and slim build. His last known address is Zimbabwe Avenue, New Providence, and number 8 Frobisher Circle, Freeport, Grand Bahama. If you have any information on the whereabouts of Tavares DeMonte Beckford, a.k.a. Foe, you should contact CDU at 350-3107 through 12, 911-919, or you may call your nearest police station. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Stay with us. There's more news right after the break.